tall, so not the biggest barbarian, but I'm jacked.
It's a hair and braids.
We could put our parents in the way.
Let's if we put it into braids and then we wrapped it around and then we gave them the flowers, sticking them, and then what if we did this?
May I have another drink, please?
Yes, you may, Andy Koso.
Put your hands up, it's better!
No. Syria, roll me a constitution, saving throw.
Yes, you, I'm gonna fight you.
He's sort of a, you guys know who I am, right?
Yeah. Goggles.
You're
Dr.
Mole?
Robot. Dr. Robot.
What do you do?
Take a moment to try to stop laughing.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one!
Why not? It worked again.
Hating on Batman.
I don't hate Batman, for the record. I hate the fandom of Batman.
Oh, cool. Okay,
That's the
that's
issue.
way more people.
It is. It's
To
a
hate.
lot, like actual human beings.
Were you gonna
You need to rub this crap off your neck and not smell like me. Or I will fail. Just start rubbing his neck and just getting like...
I am fairly certain it doesn't matter what I smell like at this point.
To a feline. You have wolf's piss on you.
I'm just gonna point at my feline eyes.
I have some time.
You've just tuned in. We had the brilliant idea while we were fishing at the Dark Moon Festival.
Oh, jeez.
To do a dungeon with fishing poles equipped. Because why not? And so we drank all of the alcohol in our bags, and we equipped our fishing poles and our aquatic pets, and we went to do a dungeon.
I feel like I need to put it up. So this was the end of our epic tale. What holds for next week as the heroes set sail? We may find more family, we may find where things start. All we know is to follow our heart. So our heroes set forth to pillage and to plunder in the magical continent of wonder. We have one more question. I hope to not blunder. Question for you, dear friends. Do you wonder? Thank you, guys. Indigo Connect.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is, what night of the week is it? It is Thursday night, and it is time for a little Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you so much for everybody that has tuned in to Indigo Chameleon for something that I am very excited about. Chapter 2 of the Lost Isle Saga. This was a one-shot that we had set up that I just enjoyed doing so much that I'm like, you know what? I want to keep going. So I invited all these beautiful, beautiful players back to come and play. So the first and foremost, before any announcements are made, Icky V, Indigo Chameleon, Big Mike, Wolfgarin, Atavistics, and Meowdith, thank you. Thank you. I literally and figuratively could not do this without each and every one of you. So you're the best. Heart. And Big Mike, welcome to the group, buddy. I'm excited to have you. More of that later. We've got a few announcements before we get started. There's lots of cool, exciting things happening here on the channel. We do have a Discord that you can come and hang out with us on. We post memes and inspiration, and there is a brand new Wild Weird West play-by-post that is going to be debuting in November, led by me, with a card system. Like if you have a deck of cards, and that's how combat and skill checks and stuff like that is going to be handled. So we invite you to come out and hang out with us on the Discord and play with that. We also have a merch store where you can buy Indigo Chameleon mugs, and shirts and things of that sort. So we thank you for repping the brand Karma anytime you can. Not only that, but we also have an online store that's where you can buy digital goods for your online characters. There's no Lost Isle merch up yet because I'm worried that there's going to be a bit of a scramble. But the first item for the Lost Isle will be going up next week, and it will be a surfboard. So you will have to tune in next week for that. The other item I already have designed as well. I don't normally put whole characters up there, but I couldn't say no to an octopus. So stay tuned for Dimitri's online store. Thank you, Fork Puff. Thanks for tuning in. That's one of my favorite names I've ever seen on Twitch. Oh my goodness. So that's going on. Lots of exciting things happening this week. On Friday, we're going to continue our spooky Halloween week, but we're going to Neverland, so we can't get too spooky. We have a spooky pirate adventure where the group goes up against Davy Jones, who is a mind flayer. So we still get the tentacles in the face. So I'm very excited for the group of adventurers to go against Davy Jones on their brand new pirate ship. That is Friday. Saturday, we don't have anything going on here, but Icky V, you've got something going on your channel, right?
I do. I'm sorry. I was trying to open a can and I muted myself.
That's okay.
There you go. I got it. Salsa. We do. We are going to be having a spooky game Friday night and Saturday night over on my channel this weekend. No Sunday game, but we will be having the Circle of Ash will be going and doing some stuff. And one of our players is leaving us for a little bit. He has to go to, as a player, he has to go to basic training. But so we have a cool send-off for him and some spooky stuff happening. So it's going to be interesting.
Please, everybody tune in to that on Saturday, and then they tend to go later than us. So Friday, maybe we'll try to jump over there after our spooky pirate adventure. On Sunday, we go to the second episode of Vampire the Masquerade. I have been told that I have, because of my crazy schedule, our good DM, Audie, is creating a character for me, and I don't get to see anything about it until the day of. So I'm terrified and grateful, which is should be my yearbook superlative. So I'm very excited about that on Sunday. Tune in for some Vampire the Masquerade goodness. And then we'll cycle around to Tuesday. I don't know if anything's going on Monday. Tuesday, we're going to go back to Wonderland with some exciting things that have popped up along the way in the last episode. And I think that's it. For more information, stay tuned to the Discord. Now, what happened last time on the Lost Isle, a group of players of the game Dungeons & Dragons set forth on an epic quest. Their DM, Gary, turned out to not be just a DM. He turned out to be so much more than that. Our heroes living in modern-day Monterey Bay, California, were thrust into a world of magic, myth, and monsters, as they discovered that the game of Dungeons & Dragons was more of an instruction manual for heroes once they awakened to their true potential. Each one of the players at the table found themselves with a skill set and items representing the characters that they played, taking on the forms of these level 5 characters. We have characters ranging from Turk the Ranger, Jay the Fighter, Cass the Cleric, Kiara the Druid, and Crystal the Sorcerer. Each of these characters has had to deal with the fact that the world is much larger than when they first started. They find themselves on the Lost Isle, an isle that moves in and out of time. Legends of this island have permeated storybooks and legends for eons. The group, having made their way to the island, made fast friends with a Warforged bartender who, at the prodding from the group set them forth on a amazing quest to return a shot glass to its rightful place at the center of the island. The group, not one to shy away from adventure, took the mystical shot glass and did travel to the middle of the island, where they encountered what looked to be a hag-like creature trying to take a sword from the stone. They defeated the hag, and the sword came out of the stone as the inhabitants of the island gathered around them. The sword turned around and put itself handle first towards the group, and that is where we left off. I've been dying to ask this for a week and a couple of days. Who is grabbing the sword?
I take a small step back.
Crystal takes a step backward.
I would move forward.
Kara walks forward.
Cass is gonna take a stutter step and a skip forward and look at it.
Yeah, give me an investigation check, Cass, as you get close to this thing and it sort of radiates an odd arcane energy.
It doesn't look like anything special.
It's
that was a nat
super.
one.
It's super pretty.
It's
Cass,
really cool
I will
looking.
tell you this: with a nat 1, it's not candy.
Oh.
It is not like chocolate on the inside. Like it's just a sword.
How dare you?
Zerk is probably actually petting his wolf right now, and then he glances over it at Jay and raise an eyebrow at him.
Jay actually doesn't look at the group at all, but he instinctually reaches out towards the sword.
Okay.
Just before he grabs onto it, though, he stops himself and takes several steps back and just looks at his hand.
On a scale from bargain bin to Excalibur, how pretty is the sword? It is Excalibur level pretty. The sword floats in the air for a time. As Jay takes a few steps backward, it continues to float until it makes its way over to where Kiara is.
She wants to just look at it for a second.
Sure. Is this I'm looking at this because, oh my gosh, I think I kind of know what this is? Or is this
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what this is.
So how about this? Kiara, give me a history check or arcana check. Each one would tell you something different.
Where's my... I have a +0 to either one, so let's roll a d6 to determine which one I'm rolling.
I like where your head's at.
All right, so that's an arcana check,
Okay.
and it's an 18.
You have been a hero for, I want to say, less than 24 hours, where the rules of magic are finally becoming apparent to you. And even then, you can tell that this thing is radiating magical energy. You're not sure. It's like two magnets that are polar opposites that push each other away. When you were a little kid, and you put the magnets together and just see if you could push them. Like that's the energy that you're feeling coming from this sword.
Of course, I rolled a do-it dice there. She's gonna reach for the sword.
Okay. You reach your hand forward towards the sword. I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Absolutely. Oh, that's good. That's an 18.
Sure. You push your hand forward towards the sword, and there's a reflection. Like there's almost this odd, like sort of reflexive. When you meet someone new and you go to shake their hand, but it's that awkward, like they were going for a high five and you went for a shaking of the hand, and just that odd. Oh, I didn't. Would you? Ooh, and as you reach your hand forward, there's a pause where the sword floats away, and then gently, as if you're coaxing an animal into your hand. The sword floats over into your hand. As it does, there is an eruption from the clearing as you see a large mechanical person coming through, wearing what looks to be a devil costume that looks store-bought, who marches his way through the crowd, shouting, "You did it! You've returned my shot glass back to its rightful..." As he stumbles into the clearing, somebody reaches and takes his helmet off, and then he looks around and sees how many people are there. and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought... What did you guys do?"
What?
There is a crowd of people, and all of them are staring mouth agape. It's like an odd sports movie where like the Little League team just like did something unbelievable and everybody's mouth is open. It's beings of all different makes sort of gathered around this section. There is a long pause where no one quite knows how to react here.
Kaz's gonna look around and kind of gauge the room and just kind of whisper to herself, "Is this not normal?"
As those words leave your lips, because no DM can ask for a better opening than that, a figure enters into the clearing. This figure is very pale skin. They are shirtless. They are wearing pants that are sort of made of a shimmering scale material. When I say pale, I mean extremely pale. It's almost as if they glow in the night's air. They're also very gaunt. One of those people that when they breathe in, you can see their chest and sort of see like their ribs imprinted on the skin. This individual has dark hair, and as they stride into the clearing, they look at the sword currently in Kiara's hand and look at all of you. As he turns his gaze to all of you, you hear a voice inside of your mind. His lips do not move as a voice echoes forth and says, "Who are you?"
Are you a vampire?
There is a shake.
Who was he talking to?
You all hear this voice inside of your head. Crystal responds with, "Are you a vampire?"
I mean, no offense or anything. I mean, I don't see the sparkles on the skin, but you're super pale.
You see him cock his head in a, "What?" And then he just, "Follow me, please."
I don't know the rules.
The Warforged, who has now taken off the devil costume, sort of like tries to make eye contact with each and every one of you and like nods his head and like points it over as if to say, "Follow the pale man."
Is he safe?
Yeah, he's part of the council.
Okay.
The pale figure cuts a swath through this group of individuals, making his way to a large stone building. Is anyone following him?
I'll follow him. I'm not going to go in the building yet, but I'll follow him towards the building.
And Turk is actually going to make sure that everybody is continuing on. If anybody's hanging back, he's going to see if he can round them up. And
Kiara's basically vibrating in excitement right now.
Yeah, which is great. Like that's like a completely normal thing for Kiara to do. Unfortunately, you are holding a sword, so I think it's like, and then like as you do this, like as you're walking, people are just sort of like dodging just a little bit.
I'm holding it more like my hand is on but I also have another hand under the blade. So like hand on the pommel, hand under the blade.
It's a gentle.
Yeah.
Kiara, Turk, you're making sure everybody makes their way forward.
Yes.
Turk and Kiara and anybody else that would be watching behind the group, give me perception checks, please. Jay, you're striding forward, right?
I am. I'm keeping my eyes on this pale dude.
Yeah.
Modded 20.
Modded 20.
And that would be a modded 23.
Yes. Cass?
10. But I was mostly paying attention to the Warforged, seeing if he was trying to come get the shot glass or not.
Does Jay still have the shot glass?
Actually,
Turk had it.
Turk has the shot glass.
Does Turk still have the shot glass?
Point of clarification, were we supposed to place the shot glass or smash the shot glass?
What would Turk do here?
Well, he would probably catch Kiara's eye and wink at her and toss the shot glass at her.
Oh no!
Because his understanding is the shot glass is to be smashed by magic.
Give me a Dex saving throw, please, at disadvantage, as
Absolutely.
you are either going to have to drop the sword because you're holding it with two hands as a shot glass goes flying forward towards you.
Or smash it out of the air with said sword.
Oh my god, that would be so fantastic.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. Kiara, Turk throws a shot glass at you. You're a little distracted. If you would like to try to take a swing at this thing, you can.
I think instinctively I'm going to try and take a swing at this thing. It's not going to be very good.
Perfect. This is I'm totally picturing the apple scene in Hook, where Robin Williams is on the table and they just throw or the coconut. Yeah. Kiara, give me an attack roll, please.
That's a 12 on the die.
Okay. Are you proficient with long swords?
Or baseball bats.
Long swords? No.
Okay. I think it's way better for this to happen as the shot glass goes flying through the air and the crowd goes and you stride forward with Excalibur in hand and take a swing at it, and there is a lightning flash as the shot glass falls into the glass at your feet. You still holding the sword in your hand. You look down and you got a little ding on it though, like a little bit of the shot glass is like dinged, but everybody around the group just looks even more confused now.
I turn to the Warforged and I raise my eyebrow.
I really expected that to turn out differently.
Your quest is complete. Get out of here. Go.
Okay, let's go.
Oh my god.
You throw that at me?
You're supposed to smash it out of the air. I was expecting like Lady of the Lake or something.
Her eyes just widen and she just keeps moving forward.
The Warforged, very confusing. The last image you see is him coming over and picking up this chipped shot glass and putting it in his bag. Jay and Crystal, since you are walking with this pale figure, you make your way over to this stone building that's not too far away from where you started this adventure with the sword and the stone. This stone building looks to be carved with arcane sigils. Not only are some of the arcane sigils carved on the stone outside, but even more crudely, there's graffiti all over the building. It doesn't look like regular graffiti. It looks like artistically done, but spray painted in different languages, and different sigils are marked around this building. He makes his way over to a door. It's one of those like beautiful oak doors, and as he steps in, you see a collection of individuals at a table and a sort of a raised stage looking out, almost like you would see in a courtroom, an old-fashioned courtroom. The individuals that you see at the table, one of them one of them looks to be a collection of sticks and leaves and grass that is looking at a curtain that's hung on the wall. As the hand moves up, you see bunches of little insects crawling out of the hand and making its way along the curtain, and then a small woodland creature, might be a squirrel, poke its head out from where the head of this creature is. Think Swamp Thing. Does that make sense? Or, yeah, like just made entirely of green and sticks and natural materials. Standing next to this individual is somebody who's leaning up against the wall, who seems to be looking at books and referencing them, but everything looks very clean and precise. They have a blue skin to them, and it is one of the most beautiful men that you've ever seen in your life. The features are just beautiful. He's stunning. This blue skin, bald. He's wearing a fancy gold and white robe, and he's poring over text. The next creature that you see on this stage is a giant floating eye. The eye has several stalks coming out of it at different places. And as you walk into the room, there is a pregnant pause as the eye goes, and then the doctor looked at him and he said, "Rectum damn near killed him." You get it? Rectum damn near killed him. Hang on, let me tell the joke again. So the guy walks into the and then as there's a slamming of the door open, even more as the pale individual makes his way over to where the stage is, and the floating eye shuts down and sort of looks out at the group, and you see one of the eye stalks wave at the people entering the room.
So do we feel any threatening coming? I mean, I have a feeling I know what this eye is.
Give me insight check. No?
Well, that's a 12.
It's hard to tell. Nobody's being actively aggressive towards you.
Okay.
The pale individual walking forward is looking a tad disconcerting, just because they look pissed. They make their way up to the stage, and as they do, he gestures to the bottom of the stage where you all have a place to stand. He sweeps his arms around and sighs, and that telepathic voice does not enter your head. Instead, it is a voice. All of you, please step forward.
Okay. Step forward.
My name is Mordru.
Mordru?
Mordru.
That sounds like a vampire name.
I am tasked with keeping the peace on the Isle. You've been brought before the council because one of you, and he will shift an eye to Kiara, has removed the sword from the stone. I assume you are an adventuring group, correct?
Yeah, but she didn't actually take it out.
It came out on its own.
Well, kind of. Someone
Actually,
else
there
pulled
was
it.
this haggish that was pulling, and there's lightning and stuff. We were trying to prevent the sword removal and then she, all she did was put her hand out.
The blue-skinned individual moves forward and actually floats off the stage down to eye level to where all of you are, and says, "A hag? Can you tell me more about the hag, please?"
She has one hand now.
She was trying to get the sword. You chopped her hand off.
Well,
I didn't.
actually, I
He
think
did.
we
Chopped her in half.
Cut her in half. Yeah, she has a dual personality now. Turk is struggling with his whole sanity right now. He's
Yeah. Mordru, they defeated her. This is what the prophecy... Quiet. Where is your DM?
He's on a boat. He's heading back to the city. Why? He just dropped us off.
Yeah, Gary Nilram.
Your DM did not come with you.
He said he had other heroes to find, something of that. I can't remember.
The blue-skinned individual starts laughing, just in joy, and saying, they did not come with a DM. They were dropped off on an island by a man named Gary. This is them. This is most assuredly, and Bobby, the beholder, will begin to laugh a little bit and goes, hot damn. Look, now we knew these guys were going to eventually get here, right? Because now they got the sword. Hey, it's real nice to meet you. I'm Bobby, all right? I'm on the council. I represent the Merchants Guild here in town and stuff like that. Y'all ever need any work done, you can just, Mordru will quiet them. He will wave a hand in the air and the two of them will silence themselves. You have entered into our world, into our realm. You are unaware of the customs for the island. Let me explain. Most groups arrive with a DM, a dungeon master to guide them. No group has ever arrived on the island without one. Your dungeon master is to train you in the ways of how the island works. They do not drop you off like we are a daycare.
Wait, are you calling us liars?
I am saying you are unorthodox.
Dude, I can live with that. Okay.
Wait, do you know Gary?
We are not familiar with Gary.
Okay, he did this. It's magic. Okay, yes, magic's for real. It's Merlin. His last name was Nilram. He did this thing in the air with the letters. It was it's total Harry Potter thing.
This is too much for the blue one. The blue-skinned individual is just now ecstatic. If somebody could be peeing themselves in a room, this blue-skinned individual makes his way over to each and every one of you and begins furiously shaking hands. Hello, I am Zalid. It is a pleasure to meet you. I represent the arcane school here on the island. Your name is Turk. You must be Jay, Cass, Crystal, and Kiara, correct?
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Yes, okay, so here is something that you would not know. We have been expecting you, or some facsimile of you, and every so often we expect your arrival, but we had given up hope. The island moves itself through time. This is true, but we are not permitted off the island. Time is fickle and it can have strange effects on people and places. We had one island that we thought could withstand the trials of time, but we lost it. So we set up shop on another island, and yes, the island travels, but you need someone to be able to focus themselves and be in a place that would allow them to travel. You need a focus. And Zalid looks to Kiara and points at the sword. Years. You don't understand years of waiting for someone to pull the sword from the stone, to be able to leave the island and withstand the arcane forces and do good in this world. Mordru, this is them. Mordru will look at the group. And as he does, he will gesture towards the other member that has not said much. The member composed of Island. And this living plant made of rocks and greenery and small bugs will make its way down the platform and stand in front of each of you. He will stand in front of Crystal and not say anything. And in turn, Jay, Cass, and Kiara, and Turk. You sense it's trying to observe something. After a bit of time, the large mass makes its way up back to the stage. And stands.
Sorry, my laughter is Cass's fault.
They are not ready. Mordru says. Kiara, is it?
Yes.
Please hand me the sword.
Turk is going to actually take a step forward and place himself in front of, between Kiara and Mordrin.
Young man, you have no idea.
You have no idea the no idea I don't have.
Also, it picked her.
It chose her. I'm sorry. There's prophecy. You're telling us that you're stuck here on this island.
We were told we could go home.
The only way off the island is this sword.
It is the job of the council to determine people's worth.
I doubt that it is your job.
Mordru will take a step backward. Council, I call for a vote. Are we to leave them here, allowing them passage when they are without a DM, they are without a guide, they wandered onto the island and took this sword, all in favor of taking it back? And Mordru will raise a hand. As Mordru raises a hand, he will cough, and Zalid will look over at Mordru, and with his eyes turned down, will also raise a hand.
At this point, Jay stands next to Turk with his axe at the ready.
Cass is getting kind of frustrated at this point because this seems kind of dumb, profoundly dumb, and she's gonna take kind of a determined step forward. And actually, it chose her, and we were trained by our DM really well, and you don't know us, and how dare?
Cass, give me a persuasion.
12.
The beholder will shift forward a little bit and be like, listen, I still get a vote. I kind of like her. It's true, man. If the sword chose her, we got to respect that. What about you? Croatoan, what do you think? The island will turn his head to the side, and Croatoan will shake his head from left to right. Mordru will stand and say, the vote is tied. And as he says the vote is tied, there is a boom in the back of the room. As you hear, sorry, I'm late, everybody. I did stop, though. A small human young wizard will stumble into the space. He carries in front of him a white box filled with Krispy Kreme donuts. And he goes, hey, everybody, sorry, it's me, Chris. I got the council memo. I got the summons. I just wanted to stop and get donuts because the island's by Monterey, and Hi, hey, new guys. I'm Chris. It's very nice to meet you. There is a rumble from Mordru who says, "Where is Duncan? We summoned Duncan," and Chris goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Duncan met up with a buddy, and in his words, he's taking a joyride. So Duncan can't be here right now." But I'm here representing the Indigo Chameleon as the 5th member of the council. Does somebody want to fill me in?
Oh, the sword picked her, and they don't want her to have the sword.
The sword picked. Oh my God! And he will like go to jump off the stage and be graceful about it, but instead get tripped up on the ropes and just fall face forward into it.
Cass is gonna try to make a dex check to catch the donut.
Catch him. Give me a dex check, Cass.
20.
Perfect. He goes to fall, and it turns into one of those meat cutes as you rush forward and you catch him like this, like face up, like where it turns into like, "Hi, donut."
Not Duncan, just Krispy Kreme.
Oh yeah. Here, and he hands you a Krispy
Hot and
Kreme.
fresh.
Yeah, and he will leave your arms and go. May I look at the sword? You can still hold it. He will take a pair of glasses and put the glasses on and start examining the sword and go, "This is her. This is the sword." And it came to you?
Yes.
That makes sense. There's always a woman. There's always a keeper, and then a knight, and a mage, and the stories, they all repeat themselves. There's always a keeper. Someone pure of heart, connected to the earth. Normally she's in the water, but your clothes look soaked through, so that makes sense.
I could be. If you needed me to, I definitely...
No, God, no. The sword belongs to them. I vote with them. They get the sword.
It's not tight anymore.
Mordru stamps his feet and goes, they do not have a DM. They do not have a guide. We have never had a group here without a DM, and there is no DM on the island without a group. So as far as I'm concerned...
Hold on a minute.
Chris goes, I like the fire. Technically, that's not true. We do have a DM without a group. And Mordru puts his hands in his face and goes, No, not William. We are not doing that. They would have to choose him to be a part of the group. And that one is even more volatile. He's evil. We changed his alignment ourselves. He is not good, and none of these look evil to me. He is of evil alignment, and I will not wish that upon any group.
So you have a DM?
Fine. Mordru will go over to a small room in the back. As he opens up this small room at the back of the stage, you see a man leaned over a desk who is, if you'll forgive me just this description, he's leaned over a desk and he's got what looks to be a large vinyl map with tiny squares all over it. And you all recognize this immediately as a battle map. And as he opens this door, this room is covered, floor to ceiling, with battle maps of different terrains, different topography on the maps. And you see this person holding up figures and interacting and almost doing this little battle with the figures as the door swings open, as if you've caught them like mid, and as they look up, they see all of these faces and immediately shove their hands behind their back with the figures.
Been there, dude.
William, make your way to the stage, please. What does William look like?
He is a...
Careful.
He is an attractive young man.
There we go.
He looks familiar to anybody who meets him. He's an average, what you'd expect fella. Extremely handsome. Super handsome.
William walks out onto the stage. And as you are brought forward, Mordru looks at the group and turns back to you with a snarl. It says, William, we have found you. We have found you a group.
Are you messing with me again? Because
This
getting
is
old.
not a mess with you. This is a group of heroes led here by Merlin. And as you can see, one of them holds Excalibur in their hand.
So you just want me to look at them? You're actually going to let me lead these guys?
This will be your group, William, to lead and instruct in the ways of being heroes.
Yes! I mean, sure, I can do that.
The Earth is doomed.
It's gonna be great, guys.
I am going to leave you to get to know one another. The island is about to make a landfall in a different time. William, why don't you introduce yourself? Good day. Mordru will make his way off the stage and out the swinging doors, purposely shouldering Turk on his way out, and Jay.
How rude.
Sassy.
A jerk.
Jay does give an audible snarl.
Yeah. He makes his way out, and as he does, Zalid, Zallid, the blue-skinned figure, will come forward and say, I hope you will not be offended. I had to go with my gut here, and you are unpracticed. But no hard feelings. William, good luck.
Thanks, buddy.
Zalid will nod and make his way out of the door as well. The island is just not there. As you watch the two individuals leave, Croatoan is gone.
That's his favorite thing to do, guys.
How did Croatoan move? Just like absorb back into, or like, was there a door involved, or?
He's just not.
Nobody knows.
He's just not there.
Okay.
Chris still stands in the room, and he's having a pleasant conversation with Bobby. Bobby is indeed the beholder, and he's telling Chris, it seems like, the joke that he was telling everybody else in the room as you guys entered. But as the other individuals in the room leave, Bobby turns back to each and every one of y'all and says, "Hey, listen, I'm real pleased to meet y'all. I know y'all are new to the island and stuff like that. I'm here like it's hard to describe me as a job. I'm like the handyman. So anything mechanical dealing with on the island, just because of the old peeper, like when I look at stuff, magic tends to shut down. So anytime I work on something, it needs to be kind of mechanical in nature. So if you got anything like a electricity or a car or something like that, I'm real good with cars. Like you just let me know, and I'm happy to help y'all out. I'll let the other people in the merchant district know y'all are here, and y'all should be getting some fair prices and stuff like that. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can trust Chris here. He's been on the council for a while. So yeah, y'all ain't prejudiced or nothing, right? Just because I'm a beholder.
Have we fought a beholder before in our campaign?
I would
at all?
say at a level 5, it would have been a quick fight, but yes. I think
Okay.
you're introduced to beholders.
So we know what.
They are not normally this gregarious or southern.
I got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure meeting you, Bobby.
Hey, you too, man. Hey, and I get it, man. Like, I get it. Like, I know they put me on one of the covers of them books and stuff like that. And when the Xanthar book came out, I'm like, here we go again, right? Like, one step forward, 2 steps back. You know, the Snar and stuff like that. And yeah, there's some real jerks, okay, beholders. But we ain't all like that, all right? Like, we're gonna be fast friends. You tell him, William. Tell him I'm like a nice guy, right?
Oh, the nicest.
See, William gets it. He gets it. So, like I said, y'all need anything, you let me know.
How do you fix cars without fingers?
Oh, I got me the telekinesis,
Telekinesis.
yeah, ESPN, and I can use that to move stuff with my mind powers.
Wow.
Can you charge cell phones?
Yeah, hell yeah, I can charge a cell phone. What y'all need? You got a little iPhone or a little Samsung? Where y'all staying at? Y'all staying at like one of the taverns in town?
I don't know yet.
We still have the big old V on our hands.
Oh, hell yeah, y'all are virgins. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Did y'all do like a quest? Did you get the shot glass quest?
We did.
And that's how we got this.
Oh, normally they just give you like the mug, but the sword's pretty cool too. That's new. Hell yeah! All right, cool. Yeah. I'll send some chargers over to the club round the clock, and yeah, we'll get y'all taken care of. Y'all need anything else? Just let William know. He can. He's good people. Don't. He and I have had some long talks. I don't believe everything you hear. Just because he's been marked as evil, don't mean he's evil.
Yeah. Okay, can we go back to that whole marked as evil?
Sure. This seems like a private conversation, though. I think I'm gonna skedaddle. Y'all have fun with this, and Bobby will float away towards that front door.
Thanks, Bobby.
Hi.
I like him. He's fun. Hope we see him again.
He seems really nice. I mean, I didn't expect that. You know, him being,
Yeah, they're not all nice though.
Okay, that's good to know.
Good and bad in all groups, I guess.
Honestly, there's more nice than there are bad.
Is that right?
Good to know.
So when they said you were evil,
Wow, that's what we start with. That's
well, I was just gonna open.
that's what we go with.
I think it's a good
Hi, how you doing?
What's on my mind first?
Hey, you're an evil guy. Yeah, that's what you get. That's pretty much standard for all adventurers. Everybody who's labeled evil is evil. Evil. I'm gonna
So
kill
are
you.
like
What?
infanticide, or you're going last at White Elephant? Like, what kind of evil are we talking here?
So it was not my choice. It was forced on me.
You were
But I'm
forced to be
lawful.
evil?
Y'all getting really stuck on this one, I guess.
Well, no, I mean,
Just
he
like
just
everybody
seemed like
else.
we really needed to talk about this, and then we asked him, and he was like, "No, this is something you guys need to talk about." And I was like, "Okay, so we'll talk about it. We might as well like get the big thing out of the way, and then we just get the little stuff done, right?"
Chris is power eating donuts at this moment. Like he's gone through the majority of the box. And for someone so skinny, it's confusing. But he's basically sitting at a chair, just watching this little back and forth happen between.
You should probably slow down on those. Do you have any idea how many chemicals are in them? There is a ton of white sugar. There's also white flour. Do you realize what too much white sugar and white flour can do to you?
Cass reaches over and tries to like.
It's
Try
okay.
to-
They've got magic here, so you'll figure it out over time. Magic makes a lot of that stuff not so bad. But back to your question, how about this? How about rather than being prejudiced, we just go with you make your own decision. If you like me, you like me. You don't, you don't. I really already like you guys. Seem like a great bunch.
Chris
So you-
Chris will like put his hands out and look over at Jay.
So you're DM right there, William.
Yeah. I'm now your DM. It's gonna be
You
great.
ever have a TPK?
Those things are really they happen. It's just one of those things. So, do you guys want donuts? Because I can make that happen.
I don't know if I like him.
You know, I gotta say, I liked Thanos in the last Endgame. But
This is where you're going with this. We're gonna Thanos, really?
well, I liked him, but I don't want to take orders from him.
So you're saying he's Thanos?
Who said anything about giving you guys orders? Y'all are making all kinds of assumptions here. I'm just trying to be part of the team.
Chris will walk forward at this point and be like, try to like get like stop the Thanos thread at the pass and go, wait, went down the wrong pipe. Sprinkles. William, can I speak on your behalf?
Please.
William lost a group. TPKs are rare, but they do happen. William is a DM. Here on the island, when groups show up, a DM usually comes with them. It's after years of playing together and establishing a relationship. It's true what they said. It's rare to have a group show up and have the DM leave because it just doesn't happen. You need someone, a guide to school people in the ways of how to do things. And William had a group. It just didn't work out. And unfortunately here, sometimes people can be unfair. Sometimes you get labeled with choices and alignments based on things you can't control. And here, if you make a grievous mistake, if you lose your team, you are labeled as evil. It's a way to put people in a box. And that's what they did to William. And he is many things. William, if you'll allow me to brag, he's one of the most talented map makers the council has ever seen. He does battle maps and is a genius when it comes to being a tactician on the field and reading people. But most heroes don't want to travel with somebody that's been labeled evil. And they certainly don't want to be led by one.
So that's the only reason that they call him evil? Like he's not out kicking puppies or anything? He just had some bad luck?
Can we discuss this in private? I no offense, William.
So I'm used to it.
Let's prove them
I'm
wrong.
going to see if I can bring the group together as kind of a little bit often. Okay, I understand the whole kicking puppies and losing groups. We're the group this time, guys.
Yeah, we're the group. And we're a group without a leader, and we don't really know this place.
And I really don't like that guy that was up there, the snooty man. And he says we can't do it, so let's prove him wrong. Don't like that guy. Let's prove him wrong.
The snooty man.
We're also pretty strong, and we have a lot of magic, and he's one person. And I say we give him a chance. And if it turns out he really is evil, and he's a horrible person, there's 6 of us. And if it turns out he's really a nice person, then maybe he deserves a second chance.
Cool.
Cass is kind of preoccupied on something, and I think she's going to walk over to Chris and leave the group and kind of lean in and just ask him, why would our DM leave us?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. I didn't see you come over. Hi.
Oh,
No, it's
sorry.
okay. No, it's good. I don't know. I don't know why you would be without a leader. Can I be honest?
Yes.
Maybe he didn't want anybody being left behind?
I don't get it.
He'll nod over at William. You are exactly where you need to be.
Okay.
Trust in the universe and whoever your DM was.
Okay.
So are you
Careful
like
of the sprinkles.
are you like single or anything? Like I know that like I don't want to sue forward or like is this like a thing or like
I'm kind of
the
partying.
No, that's no, I've got a party too. It's super great. My party. There's like 15 of us. I'm thinking about cross training in Barbarian too because I've been doing CrossFit at the gym and it's pretty great. So
Yeah.
what? Somebody called me. I'm gonna go and
If the group seems intent on bringing this guy in, I'm actually Turk's gonna walk over and walk up to William and look at the map that he's working on. Is there anything interesting about this map?
William, what's your map?
It's a castle, and it is a pretty eerie-looking one, as if somebody was planning it for a horror theme camp.
Shameless plug for pen and paper on Indigo Chameleon, DM'd by Big Mike.
We slipped.
Asked and answered, sir. Asked and answered.
So, William, did you create this?
It's one of the
Have
things
you
I'm
created all of these in here, pointing around the room at the different battle maps that are?
Some are my originals, some are additions, some are subtractions. Things
What
change.
level was your group that you lost?
They're pretty high.
Okay.
I was with them for a while.
You're not going to be starting us on the same level that you lost them at.
So that's the beauty of it. It doesn't work like that. We kind of like work as a team, and we get to like do all the fun stuff together. We go like through everything, and we get to explore and venture, and it's it's lots of fun. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm there like the whole time, and like it's so much.
So were you with your other party when you lost them? How did you make it out?
It's just kind of how it works. I get all the fun with you guys, but I could lose you, and then I have to carry that. Doesn't really go away.
For anybody that's listening in on this conversation, anybody that's curious as to what's going on with William and Turk, I want it noted without the insight check because William's doing a good job of playing it. The quietness of isolation. And the minute that Turk started speaking to him, he got that same like at the little kid getting excited. I was like, no, you don't understand about Pokemon. Like, this is what it's about. And just like gets into that frenzied, like, there is a love for D&D there akin to what Gary had about like, oh, it's super cool. And then you could be a wild magic sorcerer, and then you got to roll a D20, and then you got to roll on the magic table, and then you got to be like, and then as he reflects on the group, he goes back to that quiet isolation again.
You really cared about them.
Of course, I was just as part of the team, and they were my team, and Yeah. So anyway, back to we could definitely do a lot of really cool stuff because you guys have just got here. You don't even know the island, and this is gonna be so much fun because like I got to show you everything. I mean, I know you went to the bar. We're gonna get rid of those V things like super quick. That's gonna be, like our first thing, and we're gonna get rid of that. That'll be awesome. You guys will be like, yeah. You just have no idea how much fun this is gonna be.
Turk actually will turn back toward the group and just give a nod.
What are we nodding at?
It'll do, donkey. It'll do.
In the morning, I'm baking waffles.
Waffles.
All right, William. Chris and waits for this sort of entertaining exchange to go on, and then says, "All right, Tor, if you guys don't mind, I have a little bit of time to kill. I need to be off the island fairly soon. Let's go over some rules with William's blessing. You need to have the sword with you. Having the sword with you is going to make sure that you all can leave the island and not be affected. This is an odd pull. Has anybody ever read the book Animorphs?
Which one? There's like 500 of them.
There was a bunch of them. Okay, so in Animorphs, thank you, Kiara, you could turn into an animal for a limited amount of time. But if you stayed in animal form too long, you would just stay there. Like, you wouldn't have the ability. We call this the Tobias effect. Same thing goes with the island. In the past, adventurers have left the island, but if you stay on the island too long, or, God forbid, this island disappears and leaves while you're off of it, you're stuck there. Your body and your brain don't know how to deal with this change, so they just acclimate. You learn to live your life in a different era in hopes that you can get back home one day. But with the sword, you are connected to the island. It is sometimes Excalibur is referred to as the heart, the heart of the island. While you're connected to it, the island will not leave until you are back, which is a huge amount of power and responsibility. So please go and explore, do good in this world, but do not leave too far away from the sword while you are on the island, and don't leave anybody behind. Does that make sense?
Hey, yeah. He's got a question. I saw it.
Yes, Turk.
Okay, yes. Can we still go home sometime?
Yes, absolutely. The island travels and goes back and forth. You will have the ability to go home at various times. There's still so much. No one has ever pulled the sword from the stone. So as Kiara becomes the keeper of the sword, and until she passes the sword off to someone that she deems worthy, yes, Turk.
In regards to the sword,
yeah,
is there like a scabbard or something? She doesn't look very comfortable carrying it the way she's.
Oh my God, you're right. That's real awkward. Hang on, and he will start to craft and cast arcane sigils in the air. As he does, the sigils will be written in the air and start to flow forward. As they do, his eyes fill with an indigo light. This indigo light seems to shine forward, emanating from the eyes as these arcane sigils form in the air, and as they do, they tend to harden until you see the outlines of a scabbard forming in the air, floating in front of you. As the scabbard forms in the air and flips on its side, he holds out his hand for the sword, and he goes, I promise, I'll give it right back.
She's doing one of those like tug of war.
Yeah.
Like, air like.
Well, here, let's test a theory. How about this? Hand the sword to Turk. Hand the sword to Turk.
It's okay, Turk.
Cass is gonna like elbow Turk.
Yeah.
I'll slowly hand the sword over.
And I put my hand out.
Okay. Turk, take a few steps backward.
And I take a few steps backwards.
Kiara, call the sword back.
Excalibur?
As you say the word Excalibur, the sword disappears in a splash of water out of Turk's hands and reappears back in your hands.
Okay, that was cool.
I turned into a giant octopus, and the sword turning into water is cool.
Yeah. All right, so let's try this. The sword is taken from your hand gingerly, Kiara, and placed into the scabbard that is manifested. As it does, he will look about the group and sort of eye Cass. As he looks at Cass, he just sort of like nods at his head, and as he does, he places the sword in the scabbard, and as it does, the last time that the sword is sort of pushed all the way into the scabbard, the brown and sort of arcane sigils alight, and in your hands is now a very, very, very pink umbrella. It is a large sort of umbrella, but it looks like a pink umbrella nonetheless.
But does it work?
No, it doesn't. It's just going to look like a pink umbrella to the naked eye. But if you take it out, it should still be Excalibur. But figured that would make things a little less inconspicuous.
Yes.
Do people carry pink umbrellas a lot here?
I mean, I could change the color if you really want to. Black.
It matches your hair.
I like it. I just didn't.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
I kind of stand out.
I carry a pink umbrella sometimes. You're being real judgy right now, and Chris will walk out of the room, and as
Chris, I'll catch you later.
Okay. Yeah, William, go ahead and show them the rest of the shops in the area. You guys are probably going to need some gold to get started. I think
Gold.
Yes.
The bartender owes us 10 gold.
Oh wow! Already.
Blockbuster card.
Because we finished the quest.
And the what? I'm sorry. A blockbuster.
A blockbuster.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's going to be very useful to have here.
Did you guys
They
smash
still
the block?
have blockbusters.
Yeah, there's a blockbuster.
Excalibur chipped it, if that helps.
He said we completed the quest.
I'll say it's good enough.
It's definitely good enough. Yeah, the DM says it. That makes it true. Yeah, there's a Blockbuster on the island. It's gonna not operate the same way that the old Blockbuster did. This one is going to allow you to experience different adventures and modules that heroes have done and recorded over the years. But yeah, you guys should check it out. A Blockbuster card is going to be super useful.
So cool.
And he nods at William and says, "Good luck, buddy. You got this."
Thank you.
I'm not too far away. Indigo Chameleon has your back.
I may need you sooner than later.
It's okay. And I talked to Duncan. He says you got this.
Really?
Yeah.
Duncan said that?
Duncan said that. He said he was meeting up with some old buddy and they were taking a joyride. But I'm sure he'll see you soon.
This is going to be great.
Okay.
This is going to be awesome.
He waves at all of you, and as quickly as he entered into your lives, Chris is gone. He disappears with the casting of a spell.
Are the donuts still here?
The donuts are still there. The donuts are still there on the table. There's about 6 dozen of them left. Not 6 dozen. There's about 6 of them left out of the baker's dozen that he had as he was eating a bunch of them. There's
Sorry,
also
that's me.
Yeah, William has a dog that runs around the map room for a period of time. Heroes. The island is yours as William leads you on a tour of several shops in different places. I am actually working with a map designer right now because the island is stationary. You will have a list of the shops and where they are located on the island. Chris has also left you all a bit of gold to get started. You each have in your possession 150 gold pieces. If you want to add that to your inventory, we will get into what items that you can buy. There are lots of odd shops on the island, as William begins to lead you about. There are traditional shops that you would see in Monterey, like secondhand bookstores. There's a very odd florist that is set up. Looks to be there's some like antique and junk shops. There's a weapons store that seems to be playing heavy metal music at a decibel that doesn't seem safe for human ears. As you walk by, you just see a person holding an old school like handheld camera, and they're like, "All right, my name's Cog, and welcome to Jackass." And you see him flip a hood close, and as he does, he is hit full force with a firestorm spell, and he just like the metal heats up, and he like jumps into the water, and people are just like applauding. Like it's a raucous scene. The secondhand bookstore is one of the largest buildings in the area. It seems to go on for like 6 stories, but the tower is consistently like leaning one side or the other. Like the whole building seems to blow in the breeze. But as you walk by, you smell old books. Like it's one of those like scents that's instantly recognizable, like paper and aging paper. Plenty of food places, different taverns and inns that are separated by no more than a couple of feet. Lots of different foods. Some of them in languages you understand, some of them in languages you don't. But different smells, and you are assailed with a melting pot of cultures as arcane meets technology and old meets new. And how do you create a place that sustains creatures and beings from different time eras and make them feel at home? For some of you, it might be jaunting. For others of you, it might be exciting to be involved in this melting pot. There are sort of odd looks sent in your direction, but none of you are holding Excalibur at the moment, so there's not too much attention being sent in your direction. What do you look for? What do you do in this bit of downtime that you have?
I don't know. This whole world is so new. Jay is just trying to take in as much as he can. Other than that, he's at a loss.
It's culture shock.
I think, are there food vendors, or is everything pretty much on the inside?
Yeah, there's food vendors. You see traditional like carts of like various meats on a stick. But you also see like maybe a hot dog vendor who's going around and looks to be this small dwarvish gentleman who's selling hot dogs to people. It's nighttime, so there's certain beings and creatures that come to life at night more so than during the day. And they're all making their way and walking the streets.
Well, Turk is definitely keeping my eyes open and peeled and probably about the size of dinner plates or what my eyes are right
Starving.
now.
Yeah, okay.
And,
yeah, Turk, give me an investigation check, as you guys are all like sort of shocked by what's going on, but Turk is eyeing the food carts like he's Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
That's going to be... Which one was it? What check?
Investigation?
Investigation is going to be a 14 plus
Yeah.
0. So.
Yeah, Turk, a small cart catches your eye. They're selling those large turkey legs. Like, and you can smell it, and it looks like it's wrapped in bacon. But you don't know what it is. It's just like it's a dragonborn fellow who's taking out the raw meat, and anytime somebody purchases it, he breathes fire on it and cooks it in front of the person.
Hey, Turk, ask for the Tarask bacon.
The Tarask bacon?
Tarask bacon, trust me.
And I walk up, and when it's my turn, I like one of those legs thing wrapped in maybe the Tarask bacon.
Yeah, you got it. He'll take the dragon leg and he'll wrap it around with some bacon that's in the cart, and he sees the red V on your hand, and he goes, "This one's on the house, kid. Welcome to the island," and breathes fire on it. And as he does, he hands you a large leg that's still steaming in your hand as he hands it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Toss it back and forth. I'm assuming it's a little bit warm.
It's a little warm. It's a little charbroiled. Yeah. But it smells amazing.
And he's going to start chowing down on it, and then probably look down at his wolf and take a piece of that and toss it to the wolf and and just enjoy the leg.
The wolf sniffs it and then like sticks a little tongue out, a little canine tongue, and then like pulls the tongue back in.
No.
What
do you want?
He looks up at you, and then he looks at the leg, and then just like sort of shakes his head.
And I'm just going to shrug and keep eating it.
Cool. Let me know when you finish the whole thing. Yeah, you guys are all set for the evening. It gets later and later into the evening. William is a font of information, and it's been a while since he's peopled, so he talks unless he's interrupted. Don't go to that pizza place. This is the good pizza place. They have the same name, but this is the original one. You want to go down here, and he's introducing and showing all of you these sights and these different sounds. He does show you a very interesting candy store that is. From the outside, it does not look like a candy store. It looks like you would go if you were in a scary movie and they were like, "Don't go in that candy store." It's all black, gothic, gargoyles on the front, and it's called Candied Creations. But the outside does not look like any sort of candy store you've ever seen.
Nothing could stop me from
Immediately,
going
I want to
store.
I think as William's pointing this out, he's like, "Yeah, this is a weird place." But anyway,
Hi.
Cass and Kiara are walking forward. Yeah. You go into the store. It is made of the same sort of stone. It is candle lit with small candelabras that float along the aisles.
Oh, yeah.
A spectral visage of a human woman is behind the counter, and she is just floating there. Lining the shelves are all manner of sweets and baked goods, and the shop is yours.
If like all around, like all of it.
Yes, all of it. You find a bag, and I think you both just start stuffing bags full of various sweets and pastries and things of that sort. And as you hit your fill of the bag and bring them up to the counter, the ghostly image walks through the counter and looks at your hands and sees the red V and backs back up against the counter and says, "Those are yours. A gift."
Really?
Really?
Thank you.
Not you, William. You are not a virgin to the island.
I'll share.
That was worth a shot.
Hey, what's your candy? What do you like? So William.
What's William's
Don't
favorite
worry.
candy?
Don't worry about it. You guys enjoy it. It's really for you.
No, I get that, but I kind of have to know. Like, I know all of theirs. That's kind of what I do.
It's not really the candy. It's the Tarrasque bacon.
Candied bacon. Got it.
Candied bacon. Got it.
Yes, you see a small container of candied bacon, which you put into your bag as well. Each of you having spent the evening exploring, some of you a little culture shocked and just sort of maintaining your bearings. Some of you in candied heaven or having found a delicious food, make your way back to the around the clock. And settle in as it gets later and later into the evening. Before you make your way inside, standing outside of the establishment is Zalid. Zalid is pacing back and forth, and as you walk over, he will approach all of you and look to each of your sides and go, where is it? Where is the
I
sword?
hold out a bag of candy.
No, not
Right
the...
here.
I'm very proud of you. The sword is safe.
Yes. Well, we couldn't just go walking around with it.
I need your help. I am sorry to do this, especially after the way I acted in the face of adversity, but the island is about to shift. It can be disorienting the first time that it happens, but the island is about to change. As far as I am able to tell, you are about to end up in October 24th, 1692.
Wait.
Does that date mean anything to any of us?
Are they ready to go there?
I'm not sure, William. I don't know the next time that we are going to pass this way again. Give me history checks, anybody who thinks that they might be... No, Jay, play to your strength here. Jay has no idea.
No.
17.
9 for me.
9.
Just not picturing the date.
This is
23.
23. Cass and Kiara, this is smack dab in the middle of the Salem witch trials. And as he pulls a small map out of his bag, looking about the space as if to not draw attention, he hands the map over to William and says, I don't know if they're ready, but there are magic users being persecuted here during the trials, and they need assistance. There is reports of something terrorizing the countryside, and I'm afraid these users are being blamed for it.
This is our...
I understand, William, I do, but look at them. Look at this one, and he points at Jay. He's like, he's
biggin.
He's biggin. Yes, okay. And Kiara, she's got the thing. And
I believe in them, but I don't know that they trust me yet.
Do we hear this conversation going on?
I don't think William's trying to hide it.
Absolutely not.
Turk is gonna. I walk up and place my hand on his shoulder, and we've accepted you. We're all in.
Okay, we're in. Let's do this.
He will nod his head and say, I know very little. I've handed the map of the information that I know. You will be making your way to Salem. Salem, this is during the witch trials, where many women and men, it's where we get the term witch hunt from. Are you at least marginally familiar with this time period?
Yeah, I read The Crucible.
Yes.
Yeah, I just got done reading it too in English class.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I just ask that you hunt down this thing. Whatever is terrorizing people, whatever is causing more people to be persecuted, hunt it down and eliminate it by any means necessary.
Historically, it was just a girl.
Obviously, we
that
know
there was something
historically
that-
it's wrong.
Yeah.
But here,
You guys learn. It's history is it's not what you think.
Historically, yes, it was a girl, but you all know that there are different beings and monsters and things that can take the appearance of a girl or blame others for it. I'm not asking you to put yourself in harm's way for an extended period of time. I'm just asking that you use the gift that you've been given to save people.
Yeah, the whole thing was
Just
kind
looks
of really
around at everybody else. Yeah.
I don't think this is a debate. I think we go. If we can help, we can help.
absolutely.
These guys are awesome.
They're amazing. Yes. Upon completion of this, as a personal favor to each and every one of you, William, including yourself, each of you will be given a token to the Arcanum. The Arcanum is where we store our magical items. You will each be able to exchange that token for a magical item to use in your service to the island itself. Is that agreeable?
Yes.
All right. There will be a boat waiting for you at the dock. Tomorrow morning, the island will have jumped by then. Make your way forward to the island proper. Good luck.
Go ahead. You guys are always first. Go. No? You didn't have anything to say? I thought you were going to say something. It sounded like you were going to say something. Oh, hey, tell them what happens if they stay off the island too long.
Oh, they warned us on that one.
You stay there.
Yeah.
You begin to
just want to be clear.
Forget
very important.
who you
But
are.
not if we have the sword, right? As long as we have the sword, we're okay.
No, not if you have the sword. As far as I know, its capabilities and abilities are still unknown even to me. Unless you'd like to give me the night to hold on to it and study it, I'd be happy to run a few tests.
How long is too long?
You cheeky monkey.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, I
Off the island, we can't.
Yes,
leave it.
worth a shot. You can't blame a man for trying. All right, good luck. Rest. You're going to need it.
Are the donuts still here?
These guys are going to do it all.
I think if you guys have been snacking on them, you still have a couple of donuts left in the box.
Cool.
I definitely got my donut.
I don't do processed sugar, so
They're magic donuts.
I ate Crystal's donut too.
We forgot to give him his cake.
Cake?
Where's the
Gary!
cake?
I guess it's still at his dining table.
Nope.
If you guys gave Gary a cake,
it's
gone.
The cake was brought to the campfire.
We
It was
packed everything.
brought in the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Did we leave
That
it at
would've
the
been.
campfire?
It was left at the campfire.
Yeah. So we didn't do the candle thing and the singing and the joy.
Didn't have time.
You think I have signal? You think I could call him?
You could check.
Do we have the signal?
Sure. I'm gonna see if I
I
have a
actually
signal.
hadn't even thought about it. I'm pulling out my phone, and do I have a signal?
Yeah, you got full bars. LTE.
I'm gonna call Mom
Wait.
real quick.
You're gonna call who?
Mom.
Okay.
I love when they call Mom. That's my favorite part.
William just puts his hands in like this.
And so boop, 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 boop. I'm dialing her number.
Yeah, I think she picks up.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, what is it, sweetie?
You know, Gary's got me working on some stuff.
Sure.
I may be actually away for a while. It's pretty important. I just wanted to check in, let you know I'm okay. Just touching bases with you.
Turk, how old are you?
Yeah, Mom. I know, Mom, but
Turk, how old are you?
24.
You're 24, Turk. I love you so much, and I'm so appreciative that you called to check in with me. Are you still playing the Dumb Dragons game with your friends?
Yes, Mom. I'm still playing the Dumb Dragons game.
You know, I read an article about this the other day, sweetie, and it says that the more socializing you do at this age, like this is a good thing for you.
Mom, I'm dating. Okay.
You are? That's
yes,
wonderful, sweetie. Who are you dating?
You know, we'll talk about it when I get back.
Yeah, honey, hang on. Let me tell your father really quick. Harold, Turk is
Dad's
dating
there?
someone. Yes, he's Harold. Turk is dating someone.
Mom, I love you. I do gotta go though. We're
Turk,
in the middle of
tell your stepfather that you're dating someone, please. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone, okay? Just tell Harold that you're dating somebody. Okay,
Harold,
you're on speaker.
Harold, I'm dating somebody. Okay.
That's great, Turk. He said that's
Thanks,
great, honey.
Yeah.
He said that's great. Did you hear him?
We'll talk to you later, Harold.
Turk, I'm gonna take you
gone
off
out of town for a
speaker.
bit.
I'm gonna take you off speaker, okay? Wait,
Okay,
wait right
okay.
there. Okay, you're off speaker, sweetie.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
I'll call as soon as I can.
Okay. Have fun
Bye.
playing the Dragons game, okay?
Yes, I will, Mom.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you need
From
money?
the distance, Cass is gonna be like, "Hurry up, Turk!"
Oh my God, is that her? Is that the girlfriend?
Goodbye, Mom. Love you. Talk
Oh
to
my-
you later.
Oh my God, I thought he was making it up, Harold. There's an actual girl there, and then she hangs up the phone.
Your mom sounds really nice.
All right.
You each have a room set up at the around the clock. Waiting inside is the bar has emptied out at this point. And there's not a ton of people, but the bartender is there behind the bar, and he sees all of you and just sort of waves at you, and he points up to atop the bar, and up top you finally notice this long shelf that stretches the span of the bar, and it's hard to notice the shelf because there's not a lot of spots on the shelf until you get real close and look, and it's a bunch of shattered pieces of glass. Except at the very end is your shot glass with a tiny chip knocked out of it.
Oh my goodness. What era is the bar in right now?
The bar is current. Ooh, let's see. Let me roll probability dice. Thank you. Okay, so this bar is futuristic tech. Everything is shiny, glossy metal, and it's just like fluorescent lights. Think Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, with just sort of revolving, like the walls flicker and change into different eras. So, you're 10 gold, adventurers, and he slides a small sack of gold across the counter towards you.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
I'm glad to be of service.
That's not actually gold. That's store credit. That's my face on them, but you can use it here in the bar.
Do I remember his name? What was it? What was his name?
You never asked.
Thank you, good. And what is your name, good sir?
You're not gonna laugh, right?
Oh, after today, I can't promise anything. I'm laughing when I should be crying. I'm crying when I should be laughing.
My name is Dottie.
I might have shot a booger out of my nose a little bit.
It's a family name. My grandfather was a dot matrix.
Oh my god.
You know, that makes more sense than just about anything I've heard today.
Oh, great.
And thank you for bringing me back to Earth.
Yeah.
Or wherever I am anymore.
Anytime.
And I'm actually going to put my hand out to shake his hand, if you will. So.
Yeah. He puts a hand out.
Meeting you, Dottie.
Yeah, he puts a hand out and shakes it, and as he shakes your hand and the arm moves up and down, you hear the sound of that paper, that old school paper coming out of the dot matrix printer. That.
Oh man. I could never laugh at your name, Dottie.
No, that's good. I mean, you're no spring chicken yourself, Turk.
Yeah. You blame my grandma on that one. It's all family, isn't it?
It's all family.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. He waves and says, "Your rooms are ready. Is everybody resting, or is somebody staying up? Are we doing something else? Sneaking away in the middle of the night?"
I'm gonna kind of take to a couple different rooms and go find Jay and Crystal?
Yeah.
No, and Kira. Jay and Kira, and try my hand at doing something healing for the very first time with these new hands.
Okay.
See where I can lay them.
Sure. Sure.
That came out
Whose door?
exactly how I intended it to.
Whose door do you knock on?
Let's go. Let's go to Kira's room first.
Cool. Kira, there's a knock at your door as Cass stands there with her hands up and says, I need to lay on you. No, I need to hand you. No, I need to... Healing hands, lay on hands. I need healing.
Yeah. Breathe.
Sexual healing.
William is muted. Perpetuity.
Kira will hold out her arm. Be like, go ahead, do what you need to do.
Do I just like your arm, or do I like have to like Neosporin you, or
I
I don't know how this works.
Do I need to Neos? I believe Neosporin is a bonus action. Healing is an action, but Neosporin.
Who knew Neosporin was a verb?
Anything's a verb if you try hard enough.
I was a druid that was circle of the Neosporin, and for a while there it was.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow. Okay. I guess I'm gonna touch her shoulder or wherever the injury is and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Roll for healing, please.
7.
Hey, Kiara, when Cass asked you what your favorite candy is, how did you respond?
Either like the Cadbury's mini eggs, like the robin's eggs, or it was just chocolate of any kind. Like chocolate, but that's like my preferred.
Cass, as you lay your hands on Kiara's shoulders and you see the wounds begin to close, Kiara, it's the weirdest thing. You're tasting those Cadbury eggs. Like you are immediately transported to like, oh my God, like it's been a long day. I'm relaxing. And as that warmth of tasting that chocolate in your mouth hits you, the healing energy moves over your shoulder and you feel the wounds begin to close.
How did you do that?
How did I do what?
The robin's eggs. I could taste them. How did you do that?
I didn't put any eggs in you. I just healed you.
But your magic, when you touched me with your magic, I tasted the robin's eggs.
Can you mute me like a lot right now? Just mute. Just turn me off of the channel. I can't handle this. It's too much.
I did not put eggs in you. I just healed your shoulder.
This is too good.
I'm trying to compose myself. I did the thing like it says in the book.
Right, but it tasted like robin's eggs.
Like the candy that I bring you for candy. That's awesome, but I didn't do it. I mean, that's cool. Maybe. Do you want me to try it again?
I don't. I'm good. I don't need more healing, but maybe you should try someone else.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go stop by Jay's room and try it on him since he got hurt too. Do you want to come and see if it does the same thing?
Yes.
All right.
Kiara and Cass, while this interaction is going on, was it in the doorway or did you step into her room? You
probably into the room.
Into the room?
Yeah, I think I would have gone inside because it's gonna be weird to do it.
Jay, you hear a slight knocking at the door.
I'm actually ignoring it, and I'm standing in front of the mirror that's in the bedroom, shirtless, bouncing my pecs, left one, right one.
Are you Terry Cruising this right now?
This is who plays Jay in the movie, by the way. Like, I've already decided it's Terry Crews. Jay, I will say then, give me a perception check at disadvantage.
9.
Okay. You continue to flex in the mirror. A bit of time goes by, and you hear a voice that comes from your bed. As you turn and look and see Mordru.
I tense up and turn bright red, if an orc can.
I remember this. I'm not so far removed that I don't remember the joy. Coming to the island and being something more. I understand.
Sorry. What are you doing in my room?
My job is to protect the island from all threats in and about. And I think you understand me when I say this. I will kill you, Jay. And Turk, William, Crystal, Kiara, Cass. It will not be malicious. It will not be vindictive. I will kill them. And you. To protect her. If I see you as threats.
Who's her?
The island. She means too much. I do not say this to scare you. I do not say this to put you on edge. I merely say this as a fact, as inevitable as the sea brings the tide. I will kill you. Quickly. Without warning.
Why do you think we want to hurt? We don't want to hurt anything. I don't understand where this hatred is coming from. Yeah, we're new. So what? Things are thrown into our face. We don't understand it. But we jumped in with both feet. We're here. So you can either, deal with it, or you can just stay the hell out of our way.
There's power in the sword, Jay.
Right. And Kira will wield that power.
We are at an understanding. He stands up, going to his full height, and just stares at you. And then makes his way back to the door. He stops for a little bit, his hand still resting on the doorknob, as he turns and looks back over his shoulder. Goes to say something and then thinks better of it. Opens the door and makes his way out into the hallway.
And he passes Kira and I on the way out?
I think he opens the door to Kira and Cass, about to knock on the door.
Oh, hey. What are you doing?
He will try to walk in between you and walk away from the room.
Kiara would take a step back to let him out and good night, Sassy.
Okay, bye.
He will make eye contact with Kiara, walk to the end of the hallway, and open a door on that floor, making his way inside the room and close the door.
A residential room like one of ours?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm just going to barge into Jay's room now that the door's open.
Jay's not flexing at the moment. I think he's just standing there.
Now I'm reaching for a towel that's draped over the banister.
Oh my god, I was so hoping for like one of those like, oh hey, didn't see you there Come on in.
Oh God. Kaz's gonna barge in and be like, "Hey, what's your favorite cure?"
What are you
I'll give
doing?
you a minute. I came to help your injury and
What,
see what
this-
it tasted like. That. Hold on, no. Healing.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm gonna log off because there's too much for me to comment on. It's not fair. You're killing. I'm just gonna mute myself, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk while I'm muted.
Taste like?
Okay, look. It's not as weird as it sounds. So she healed my shoulder, and I could taste my favorite candy when she healed my shoulder. So we were wondering what her magic would taste like with you.
To you.
That makes sense. To you, right? Only you can. Look, just let her hear you.
Just get dressed or whatever, and I'll. Just let me know when you're done.
Were you about to say you'll do him later? Is that what you were
Yep,
about to
that's
say?
No! I said just get dressed and. Someone, please, just tell me when he's dressed.
I hurriedly throw on the shirt I had. It's got a big old rip in it from the hag.
Okay. So Kat's gonna walk up and I guess where the rip in the shirt is, unless it's in a not a bad touch zone, is going to like lay her hands on it, and then on the other side of the body as well to like make a pressure on either side, and then cast Cure Wounds for 8.
It doesn't cure for 8. What was the candy that you gave Cass, Jay?
I believe it was Reese's.
Yeah. So as Cass goes to cast the magical energy onto you, you taste the Reese's in your mouth, and it's great. I mean, you have that Reese's flavor, and you see the wounds start to close. As the wounds close, before they close completely, you hear the pounding of drums. It's small. It's slight. But it is as if there are drums in a little circle not too far away from here. And Jay, your eyes dart instinctively towards the window. You heal for 4 points. You do not heal for 8.
Do I get any kind of indication on my end, on the healing end of it, that anything has gone wrong?
I will say that Kiara, when she healed, her skin completely healed over. Jay does not have that luxury. Wherever he was cut or hurt by the hag, there is a tiny, thin scar.
Okay, then Cassis is going to just assume that it wasn't enough juice.
Wait, you hear that?
You do not, Cass.
Hear what?
And I'm gonna walk towards the window and look out, see if I can find the source of these drums.
Give me a perception
Okay.
check. Jay gets a weird look in his eyes, walks his way over to the window.
That's
will
a
tentatively follow.
16.
Jay, you're scoping out the horizon. You don't see anything. As you get closer to the window, the drum sounds fade. And they are gone.
What'd you hear?
You mean you didn't hear it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Hear what?
It sounded like a drum circle.
Nope. I didn't even hear anything other than you walking away.
Just must be tired or something.
Or somebody opened Jumanji in your head. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. We can make those jokes now. This is in modern day. Everyone else, mark down a long rest. If you use spell slots and you want to recuperate them, make sure you do that. You regain all the hit points that you have lost throughout the day. William, I think it is a restless sleep, but it is a sleep nonetheless, as it is finally.
Yeah, I spent half the night looking at the notes that I was given to see what was on it.
Sure. It's a map sort of outlining the town of Salem. Salem, Massachusetts is a large place, but you are going over to this small town located in Salem, one that you are not familiar with, and your red flags go off because you are not familiar with this town, nor is it mentioned in any of the history books. But this small town is called Glanville. Glanvill. Glanville. Okay? This is where you've been told to make your way to. You are excited and nervous, but as you study and pour through notes and provide information, and you look up Salem, William, because you are the DM, any history checks that you make once you are in Salem, you will make those at advantage. Okay? All right. Heroes, everybody rest for the evening. You are woken bright and early, whether you are ready or not, by the frantic knocking of William the DM.
It's party time, let's go!
Each of you are granted, are given a warm welcome by William, who also hands you a small black bag. It is about this big.
What's this?
Who opens it up?
I do.
Inside is a set of dice. It seems that William has provided his group with a set of dice for each and every one of you to have.
Wait, I'm confused. Are we actually rolling dice here, or I thought we could do real magic now? Hang on a minute.
Each one special for you guys. Just
He's our DM, and he gave us dice. Thank you.
small gift.
Thank
It's kind of a thing I do.
Okay, so really, are we rolling them?
I mean, you can if you want. They're fully functional.
Okay. And I roll them, and I'm waiting for something to happen.
Crystal, right before you go to roll them, something kicks in the back of your head. Players, your gift from William, and this is a gift that William did not know he was going to give. When you are traveling with your DM grants you a bit of his power and knowledge of the area. Each of you have been granted a luck point to be used. That is what the dice symbolize. This is crucial for the adventure. At one point, and at one point only, when you whiff that roll that you shouldn't have whiffed, that's vital to the adventure, you can choose to use William's dice that he gave you and change the way that the world works. You make that save. You make that attack. That was crucial. You convince that person to do that thing you needed them to do. You don't take the higher of the two. You take the new roll, though, however. Does that make sense? It's not rolling at advantage. It's whatever that other dice is, okay? So that is the gift that William has given to you. Okay?
Are all of our dice the same?
No. Each of them seem individualized, and what I will do is I will allow you, William, to individualize these dice in the group chat, and you can send them to each and every one of them about what they all are and how they are customized to each of the players. It is a quiet morning here on the island. A small fog bank has rolled in overnight, and as you all wake up the next morning, the normally bustling town that you saw the previous night is not there. There wasn't any large shift. It wasn't like a ship rolling. You didn't even feel anything, but the air smells a little different from where you are. There wasn't a lurch. There wasn't a audible sound, but you feel as if you are in a different atmosphere as compared to Monterey Bay and this new place. William leads you all to a small dock that looks oddly familiar to each and every one of you as you walk by the remnants of a fire, a cake box nowhere to be seen. But you make your way over to a small wooden boat. Does anybody do anything before you leave the island?
How are we dressed?
You are dressed as you were the night previous. You did not bring any extra clothes with you. You did not bring any extra accoutrement. I think you are all dressed as you would have been in normal Monterey Bay, California.
So in my shorts and my flip-flops.
Your board shorts, flip-flops, and a white wolf in your presence.
So if we're going to like Puritan, Massachusetts, though, if we might need to like change clothes, and I might need to do something else first before
William, do we go dressed like this?
This is the interesting part. We get to do
Okay.
William goes, this is the interesting part. He places you in the small boat, and as the boat begins to leave the island, there is a bit of pressure. It's almost like a small film when you accidentally spill glue on your hand and you rip up that little bit that's stuck there. You all feel yourselves pass through this tiny film. And as you do, the film doesn't stick to your skin, but it does stick to your clothing, changing it and bits of your appearance to be more of Salem in this particular time era. You all look down. If you're wearing a hat, you now have a hat that is befitting of the time era itself. If you were green in skin, you now take on a more human appearance. You realize that should you so choose, you could very easily take this film and rip it off. However, there is no placing it back on. This is how I'm dealing with this dynamic. Okay? So at any point you can do this, but you don't get it back unless you go by other means. Okay?
All right.
Team, welcome to Salem. The boat pulls up to a small area, and William is positively bouncing with excitement and positivity. You make your way over to a small wooded area, and as you do, that fog is starting to dissipate a little bit. It is a morning day in Salem, Massachusetts. The date, as mentioned before, is October 24th, 1692. What would you like to do?
The area that we're in, is this like in the middle of town or is this outside of town?
You are actually outside of the town. I will say after a fair bit of travel through the woods, getting acclimated to the soft ground and having no sort of road or very little road infrastructure in order to accommodate yourselves, you have finally saw the first signs of civilization as you have begun your march towards the town of Glanville, located in Salem, Massachusetts. It's hard to tell, but through William's guidance and the map that he occasionally unrolls on the vinyl sheet, you find your way over to Glanville. As you do, you hear a large crowd of people of about 30 to 35 gathered around a woman who is tied to a stake. In the middle of this town, all of these people seem to be gathered about, and there is a fair bit of shouting going on.
Well, I think we figured out the first thing we need to do.
Before we get to this point, on our way there, could I cast Speak with Animals and see if I can talk to my wolf a little bit? And
do you have the spell Speak with Animals?
I actually do have the spell Speak with Animals.
Oh no! Yes, of course you can speak with your wolf.
I've never attempted it before, but
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna attempt the speak with animals spell on the way there.
Sure. I will say in the cinematic universe, as you were walking up to this scene before you of this pyre in the center of the town, we cut back to a previous scene of Turk walking through the woods and taking a second to cast Speak with Animals. And you feel the spell's magics take hold, and you turn to your wolf companion.
Hello? Is this thing on?
Hello?
You can understand me.
Yes, you can understand me.
I can. I don't know how long this is going to last. I mean, when I read it in the book, it said something like 10 minutes, but I don't really know how these things work. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Turk.
Turk.
What's your name?
I am me. I see no need for a name.
I can. It would help me if I could share a name with you, perchance.
Share.
Could I call you Wolf? Wolf Garen?
Wolf Garen.
Yes.
Why this name?
It's a long story. I don't know if you want the whole detail, but that's who I am when I'm not me. I just think it would be cool if it was you.
If it was cool.
Yes.
Yes. Wolf Garen.
And I might just say Wolf because it just comes out short like that and everything. You're okay with that?
Yes, I am shorter than you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're also pretty dang cool if I can just say that as well. I'm new with this. What do you remember from before?
I remember the board. I remember the water. I enjoyed the water.
Me too. We had wonderful time. Are you a wolf now forever?
I'm not sure. I assume we will discover together.
Okay, well, I don't know what we're walking into, but in class and stuff, as I was in school, wolves are kind of looked on as with fear, which is probably a good thing in most cases. I don't want you getting into trouble with where we're going. Could you wait on the outskirts of this town as we get to it maybe, and kind of stay in hiding and
yes, and I will wait.
And if something's going down, how about if I just gave you a quick whistle, like really loud, and you can come in and do your wolf thing?
Yes, as long as it is louder than that.
Yes, do you want me to tell you how loud it's going to be? No, you don't want
No,
me to.
no.
But is there anything you need me to know or want to know about me, or?
No. You are Pack.
And I am proud to have you by my side.
You take care of me.
Yes. And these are Pack, gesturing to everybody else. We're walking everywhere.
They are Pack.
They are Pack.
Will protect.
Yes. And I'll be talking with you when I can every now and then, if that's okay with you. And
yes.
And we'll just get through this together, right?
Always.
Always. Loyalty.
Loyalty.
Pack.
Pack. Wolf Garen.
Yes. And I'm gonna go see if he lets me scratch in between the ears.
At first, there's a hesitation, and then he just sort of he gives into it. He's like, "This, yeah." You feel him like He wants to look cool in front of everyone, and then just sort of feel like you feel his head, like, and he does one of those things where like this fierce, ferocious dire wolf like kicks its leg back a little bit. It does the little thing where, and it lets you scratch his ear. You don't know what's the deal with this wolf, but you have started a relationship with it that will continue on.
We'll see where it takes us.
We'll see where it takes. We cut back to that scene as we make our way forward, and the wood is being piled around this pyre in the beginning of in the town center of Glanville.
All right, well, guys, obviously we got to get her out. Do we go big or do we go subtle? Because I can do either.
And Turk steps forward and says, "What goes on here?"
I think there is this speech going on, and then you hear William going like William's got the map out and he's like making marks of like, all right, we'll go here and maybe we can come around the side, and then Turk strides
entire battle plan.
An entire battle plan, and Turk goes, "What's going on here?" And 30 to 40 people turn around, some of them with torches in hand. Good day, good Ian.
I'm going to start while he's talking using prestidigitation to start snuffing torches, especially the torches that are as close to the pyre as possible.
Yep.
This is my first team.
Yep. Turk. What is going on here? Good day, good Ian. What is... as torches around the area, as Crystal begins putting hands up and tracing them in the air, and torches are going out, and you see people dropping the pieces of wood and backing up as a man stands at the front of the group and goes, Who are you?
I am Father Mayhew.
No!
Father Mayhew?
Yes. Of the church.
Father Mayhew, why do you travel with those who practice witchcraft?
They are not of witchcraft. They are chosen of God.
Persuasion check.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Oh, that might be good.
Father Mayhew, back off from the pyre.
That's a 19.
It's the scene from Blazing Saddles. The entire group, all 30 of them, look back and turn to the man on the stage, and then turn back and look at Father Mayhew, the tallest, most muscular father they've ever seen, probably man they've ever seen at this point.
Oh, he does CrossFit.
Good people of the town of Glanville, this man is truly indeed fit for the cross. He comes to save us. The church has sent help. Long have we wished for Father Mayhew. Father Mayhew, show us your guidance.
Before we had left the island, I did a little bit of research on my phone regarding the Salem witch trials. And so, where is Governor Phipps?
He is in the governor's mansion. Of course. Do you seek counsel?
I do not seek counsel from him, but to give counsel.
Of course. Of course. Would you like to do the honor? And he will hand you over the only lit torch that Crystal has yet to snuff out. As you make your way forward, you see a young woman tied to the stake looking at you with fear in her eyes as he hands you this torch.
I'll take it and, with a massive hand, clench the torch and snuff the flame.
Father, we do not understand.
She has not been judged yet. Not by the Most High.
Shall I proceed, Father?
We may release her for the time being, but please do keep her under watch.
And with that, I'm going to approach the pyre and take out my knife and slice the ropes.
The ropes are cut, and she takes some tentative steps down.
Stay with me.
And nods her head, and looks to William, and gives a small glance in his direction. All right. Quickly, everyone, to the governor's mansion. Father Mayhew seeks to provide counsel.
Before we go, I do need to speak with the accused in private.
Of course.
And I escort her over to where Father Mayhew.
You are led over to a small building, and you are not led inside the building. You are led, it looks to be like a smoked house, like where you might find like dried meats and things of that sort. Crystal?
As we're leaving, like, I want to throw a glance back and like light the fire underneath the, because I want to burn the thing down. I don't want it to be easy to get them back to her, and it's going to be a really good statement.
Sure. I will say Father Mayhew leads the accused around the building. As that is done, William has a brief moment where he goes, you know what? I think we did it. I think we managed to... As Crystal ignites the pyre, causing everyone around the area to gasp audibly and take a few steps backward as they start whispering and pointing towards Crystal's direction. Jay,
That's the weirdest lightning strike I've ever seen. Getting crazy out here.
That came out of nowhere. Jay, you are alone with this woman. She's got long raven hair. She's got bags under her eyes. Her skin looks very pale, as if she hasn't eaten or had anything to drink for quite some time.
Okay. All right. I'm not really Father Mayhew.
You are not?
No, my name is Jay. We were sent here.
You may want to keep Father Mayhew.
Yeah, okay. I can play that, but do you really know magic?
No, Father, I do not know magic. I have never practiced magic.
I cast detect magic on her.
No, you are lighting the pyre on fire. He is
I thought I did that as I left. Sorry, I was thinking 6 seconds. Never mind.
Liar, your pyre's on fire.
She puts her head down.
1 second, and I'm gonna peek outside. William.
As you peek around the corner, and go, William, Jay, give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh. 14.
Okay. William, you are charmed. Or Jay, you are charmed as you turn around and look at this woman standing in front of you. Hello, old friend.
Hey.
We have much work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Dang near weirdest lightning strike I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's close. Gosh, get indoors.
Oh my God. How did I not prepare for you guys to just go in guns a-blazing?
I mean...
Oh my gosh.
Just when I thought you guys couldn't get any dumber.
I gave you go and do
something
this
like this and
and totally redeem yourself.
yourselves.
Congratulations, team. You are in Salem, Massachusetts. We will conclude this episode next week at the same bat time, same bat channel. And we probably have this episode and another one. Thank you for everybody who tuned in tonight and shared about the stream as we are just getting our sea legs and establishing a world. I know it was a lot of lore building this evening, but thank you so much. Thank you, players. Have a great night. Indigo Connect, and you can always find us at the Lost Isle. So we'll see you all very, very soon.